This is the KJ Singh Show with your host, KJ Singh. So, I just saw the State Department of the US release a statement saying that the only obstacle to peace is Hamas. Well, that's a little rich considering that Biden released a peace plan which was not rejected by Hamas, it was rejected by Netanyahu. So, that's pretty self evident as to who are the main perpetrators of this current war. And it's not even a war right now, it's obviously a genocide. To anyone with the openness of heart, not just heart, but mind, from, a whole host of academic experts, from Rez Siegel, who's a literal genocide expert from Israel, has said it's unequivocal genocide. So let's not be under any illusions here. And when you look at this in its context, you're looking at the world's one of the strongest powers. Oh, it is the strongest power currently, although it's soon to be overtaken by China, running around with its tail between its legs in order to appease this occupation nation, aka Israel. And it just makes them look really weak because, if you are strong, if you are if you're courageous, if you think that you're not answerable to anyone, naturally you would just, you lay out your conditions, and if the other party aren't going to fulfill those conditions, then you have to lay out the ultimatum. You have to, walk the walk, not just talk the talk. But every time, for example, Biden laid out a red line for the invasion of Rafah, now Biden's saying, no, actually, they have not passed a red line. It just makes them look weak. And it does remind me of Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer is another person who's constantly reneging, constantly walking back on his own pledges, his own statements. Which brings me on to the point of this video. This video will be quite short, but it carries an important message. Whatever you do, if you're able to vote in the UK, not the US, although, the Freudian slip would be apparent when you consider that Keir Starmer is literally going to follow any foreign policy plan by the US, even if it means invasion of another country, since Keir Starmer is the new Tony Blair wannabe, but without the charm. The most important thing is that I suggest we vote for independent candidates and Green Party candidates. If you are in a British Workers' Party constituency, vote for them. But unless you're in, one that is likely to win against Labour, I think it's better to go with the Greens because they have more of a chance to actually, gather their power. And it won't be this cycle in this general election, but it'll be the next general election where the Greens will have more momentum behind them, because by the end of this next half a decade to a decade, we will see the rampage of climate change and its effects. Mark my words. We're going to see more of that, because we're already seeing that in India. We're seeing that the country is reaching 50 degrees centigrade. We're seeing people, and this affects people in Gaza too, whereby it's hotter than it ever was. And this is exacerbating the situation, the famine, whereby people are being more rapidly dehydrated at a time when water is at its shortest, shortage. Of course, that's not the main imperative right now. It's obviously the fact that they are occupied. They're at the receiving end of a genocide. But when this, if this war does die down, of course, I will see. I can bet you also that in the next couple of years we're going to see more confrontation between Israel and Iran. We're going to see more situation, because right now we are in the thick of it. But that burn, you know, that tarnishing of their image, and also the fact that they are, you know, they're unwilling to admit any fault, and they're acting with impunity, which means, you know, it's almost like a scorched earth policy. Once you've gone past a certain level, they'll continue moving on forward because there's no turning back. And that's what I feel is happening, not just with Gaza, but with Lebanon, with all the surrounding areas, with Iran. I think that once their image is unrepairable, it will just turn into a snowball of epic proportions, and that's not, neither Biden nor Donald Trump nor Keir Starmer are equipped to deal with that situation. So, you know, that's the bigger picture point of view. But for July the 4th, vote Green or vote other independent parties, not Labour, not Conservatives, obviously, and maybe Lib Dem if they're likely to win. But Lib Dem, you know, they have got a Palestinian MP, and that does help them in some way in terms of having a pro-Palestinian agenda. But Greens are more likely to be consistent, and the Greens are more likely to take more power from Labour than Lib Dems are in this current incarnation. But anyways, you know, we're going to see more lies from Keir Starmer. When he wins, and he will win, we're already seeing, you know, at this point in time, 20 to 25 points ahead of Conservative Party. There is no contest here. But it's important that we vote Green so that they are at least a tiny bit humbled. At least their lead isn't so great, even though it will be great, despite campaigns to vote for Greens or vote for independent parties. Labour will still win by what it looks like a landslide. The best that we can do is vote with our conscience, which is the Green Party or British Workers' Party. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. Thank you.